Good morning. We are getting ready to start our NASCAR race. We're just going to use one camera for this, and hopefully you'll be able to enjoy the race with one camera. So anyway, that's what we're going to do, and hopefully it works good for you. I'm going to let her fly. Thank you. We'll get back to you in between heats. Okay, guys. Okay, race fans, we're back at a break between heats. We have 48 laps on. Do what? I'm looking at the wrong scoreboard. Okay, I gotta look at this one. Okay, here we go. See if I can do this where y'all can know what's going on. Untie the microphone. All right. We got Gary Warden leading with 29 laps. Jim Wood in second place with 28 laps. Victor Abreu at 27 laps. Rick Swartz at 27. James Bennett at 27. And we have a fast lap by Gary, 44.212. We have Jim Wood at 4.142. Victor Abreu, 4.416 on red. Rick Swartz, a 4.516 on black. And James Benz turned to 4.546 on green. And I've got to run the race. me turn around and look at the correct scoreboard. I need to turn one off. Let's do that so it's not so confusing. Okay. So what we got? Can y'all pause it if it comes down? Gary Warden leads with 57, tied with Jim Wood at 57, Victor Abreu at 56, James Ben 54, Rick Swartz 54, so we have a really close race. Gary got 28 laps that heat, Jim Wood turned 29, Victor Abreu turned 29, and James had 28, and we're fixing to go back to racing. See what we got. Jim Wood is leading with 89 laps, but he just came off two of the best lanes. Gary Warden is in second place with 86 laps, but he just finished white, which is a difficult lane. Now he's on red. Jim has not run red or white. Victor Abreu just came off of blue and has 84 laps. He's on purple. That's a very good lane. Victor will run good there. James was on purple, and now he is on black, and he's at 82 laps. Rick Swartz is going from orange to white, so that's a challenging lane to go to, but he did well on orange. So we have Jim at 89, Gary at 86, Victor at 84, James Benz at 82, and Rick Swartz at 81. So we still have a good race because those that have not run the hard lanes, such as red and white, still have that to do. And then the ones that already ran red and white have an opportunity to pick up. Victor. Fast laps. We got Jim Wood with a 3.637. Boy, that's a remarkable time. We got Gary Warden with a 3.999, which is a very good time. We got Victor Abreu with a 4.173, James Benz with a 3.858, and Rick Swartz with a 4.207. So we're going into heat number 4, and this race is a long ways from won by anybody because of the other lane rotations that are coming. So let's see what happens. Back to racing. Purple to black, which is a great lane. James goes from black to yellow, which is a good lane. Rick Swartz goes from white to red, which is a killer lane. Uh, on laps, Jim Wood got 29 to Gary's 28. Victor Abreu 27, James Benz 28, and Rick Swartz 25. Fast laps, we had Jim Wood with a 3.766, Gary with a 4.004 on the red lane, which is a good time. Victor Abreu with a 4.110 on purple, which is a good time. James Benz turned a fast lap of a 3.886, and Rick Swartz a 4.344. Time to go back to racing. up on the board. I can't square it up. Sorry about that. I did the best I can do. But, you know, short notice. Okay, so Jim Wood just came off of orange with 148 total laps. Gary Warden came off of green with 143. Victor Brew just came off of black with 138. James Benz came off of yellow with 138. So Victor and James are tied. Rick Swartz just gave up a couple of laps. I'm going to see if I can fix those. Hold on a second. So 27 seconds left. All right, fast laps. Jim Wood turned to 38.29. Gary Warden turned to 4.164 on green. Victor Brew turned a 4.236 on yellow. On black. James Benz on yellow turned a 4.009. Great time, James. Rick Swartz on red turned a 4.215, which is a pretty good time. All right, time to race.
Ready. Go. Yellow flag. 20 seconds left. 10 seconds left. 5 seconds left. Heat over.
Okay. Guess I need to figure out another place to go. Maybe I can stand and you can see me. All right, here we go. I'll stand up. We got Jim Wood still leading with 178 to Gary Warden's 172. Red normally gives me a lot of trouble, so Gary could get back into this. He's got 2 heats to catch me, which is very hard to do. Gary has 172 to my 178. Victor Abreu has 166 to James Benz 166. What a race we have there. And Rick Swartz at 162 to their 166. Jim is on red. Gary's going to purple, which is a very fast lane. Victor Abreu on orange and James Ben on white. Rick Swartz on blue. Blue and orange are also fast lanes. James white is a okay lane, not a great lane, but it's not as bad as red. Fast laps. Jim Wood turned a 3.798. Gary Warden turned a 4.024. Victor Abreu turned to 4.137, and both James Benz and Rick Swartz both turned to 3.941. Total laps that heat. Jim Wood got 30 to Gary's 29. Victor Abreu and James both 28, and Rick Swartz 28 also. So those three ran equal heat. great time for those three. All right, this is heat number 7. We have 2 heats left. Back to racing.
Ready. Go. Yellow, go. Yellow flag. Go. Halfway through the race. 1 minute left. Yellow flag. Go. 20 seconds left. Go. 5 seconds left. Heat over.
All right, we got Jim Wood leading with 206 laps. Gary Ward in second place with 201. James Benz with 195. Victor Abreu with 193, and Rick Swartz 189. Jim turned 28 laps. Gary Warden 29, James Ben 29, and Victor Abreu and Rick Swartz each 27 on that segment. Excuse me, fast laps. Jim Wood turned a 3.885 on red, which is a good time. Gary Warden turned a 3.909. James Ben turned a 3.863. Victor Abreu a 4.241. Rick Swartz a 4.062. Jim goes to green. Gary Warden goes to black, which is the fastest lane. James Ben goes to red. Victor Abreu goes to white. Rick Swartz goes to purple. So let's go back to the racetrack and we'll go to racing. Last heat.
Ready. Go. 5
Okay. We got Jim Wood as winner, 234 laps to Gary Warden's 230. So Gary closed the gap up that heat. James Ben got 223, Victor Abreu 220, Rick Swartz 215. Jim Wood turned 28 laps that segment, and Gary Warden got 29. James Ben 28, Victor Abreu 27, Rick Swartz 26. Fast lap, Jim Wood got a 3.855, Gary a 3.890, James a 3.948, and Victor Abreu a 4.117, Rick a 4.077. I'm going to move a camera here in just a second.
You did that last
There we go. Well, I can leave that on, I guess. Okay. All right. Let me get my car. Who won the photography award? Rick Swartz? Hey, Rick, you won the photography award.
Yes, I do. I'm gonna be a professional.
Can everybody, you still got room on the podium for your car, though.
We're helping you out there, Rick. Seem to be professional. I took that to school. I took a classroom and everything on that.
Did you really?
Won awards in the boys club. All that stuff. Then I saw no stuff I like better.
All right, let's go. All right. Everybody look at the front sign, you know where you go. No, park there.
Okay, who's trying to leave out?
Nobody.
Yeah.
You want to get one horizontal just in case? Just be sure you get the cars.
I got everybody.
Okay. We'll see which one looks the best. All right.
The one I'm not in.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Charlie Brown.
All right. End the race. Okay. We're going to turn that.